And we've really come up with an approach, a high-level strategy plan that's got, I call it 3 prongs and a sidebar. And prong number 1 is, this is nothing too sexy here, folks, but how well are we going to help local entrepreneurs, help local businesses grow? We've got to have an internally focused effort that's going to be concerned on helping the people and businesses that are already here thrive. Pretty obvious. The second one is, how are we going to respond to inquiries that come our way? And they happen, as you all know, every so often. Are we competent? Are we prepared? Do we have our facts case? Are we ready to put out a good plan for someone that's interested in us? The third prong is maybe the one that we haven't spent as much time on recently, and that is, can we come up with a business case where we then go recruit who we want? And if you've followed it recently, there's a great story of that in Tupelo, Mississippi. They've just signed Honda to come build a plant there. And I assure you, 5 years ago, Honda didn't know they wanted to build a plant in Tupelo, Mississippi. They recruited them like Jim Tressel recruits football players. We're going to start that. And then the sidebar is kind of an interesting question if you think back to the Mayor's Visioning Committee. Is there an opportunity for this community to become a community of destination for something?
We had before. So that leads us to the next step, and we really want your support. We got to go at this together, and hopefully you guys will come on board with us and give us a shot, and we'll see in a few years how successful we are.
We got some people here who want to make some stuff happen, and we're going to go out and get it done. And please join us.
My anticipated life after Whirlpool changed in the last week from where I thought it was going to go. But you know, if you, this is kind of a corny story. I probably shouldn't tell us, but I'm going to tell you anyway. Because people at Whirlpool, a lot of people at Whirlpool know this, and this is a true story. I grew up in Rossville, so not too far from here. And when I was growing up, my parents are both deceased now. I don't even remember where we were going, but we were driving, you know, past, going south on I-75 when I was like 13 or 14 years old. And my dad ran the Hunt's plant in Perrysburg. And, you know, we would talk, and we were driving by the Whirlpool plant. And I said, you know, someday I want to run that place, when I was 14 years old. And there was never any, I mean, I never planned from 14 that I would end up doing that. But, you know, I had the opportunity to do that 12, 13 years ago, and, you know, come back and run a facility that, you know, 30, 40 years ago I talked about, would like to be able to do that. And so I've got to sort of have a pretty strong affinity for Findlay over the last 12 or 13 years. That kind of funny how destiny and those type of things work out. And so when this kind of came up a week ago, would you consider doing this? You know, my first thought was no, because I had other thoughts to do after retiring. But you know, I do feel like I really do owe something back to this community, because it's been very good for me, my family, and I've raised 2 boys here. And I live in Findlay, and it's important to me, and I care about it, and I want it, you know, for the Whirlpools and the Marathons and the Coopers and all the other small businesses, for this to be a great community to be in. So I hope I can, I'm not going to do that, I hope I can help that happen, and hope we can do that by all working together.